Good afternoon, good morning. It's Mark Johnson from Loyalty360. Hope everyone's happy, safe, and well. On Wednesday, February 19th at 1 p.m. East Coast, Loyalty360 will present another virtual workshop in our ongoing Loyalty University series. This time, we're going to talk about how to effectively implement gamification to enhance both the customer experience and to drive a brand's understanding of its audience. A lot of interest right now in gamification. And the session will be presented by none other than Aaron Lobliner. He's a Chief Fun Officer at CataBoom. How are you, Aaron?
Hey, great. I'm glad you got my new title right, right? Chief Client Officer is true, but yeah, you know what? It's okay to have fun in today's world, and I think that actually fits perfect with the theme of this because that's how do we break through and drive this engagement.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for taking the time. Looking forward to your session. And with that, can you give us a brief overview of the presentation, especially any insights as to how gamification can help effectively gather customer data in a fun and engaging way?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I just look at it like my phone rings. If I answer it, I get immediately defensive, right? If I'm at work, especially corporations, they tell you don't click on links and watch external things, right? So everybody has their guard up. Consumers are trained that way, and so how do you break through? How do you drive engagement? How do you get people to be, to capture and motivate and engage people? And so again, going back to my title, right? How do we have fun? How do we make it interesting and relevant in their world as a whether it's within or external to a loyalty program?
Yep.
That's where the secret sauce is like is gamification is a tool in your toolbox in order to drive these behaviors and break down those barriers that consumers are throwing up.
Okay. And who would benefit most from attending this Loyalty University session, and how could brands at different stages of their customer experience or customer loyalty life cycle, leverage some of these strategies and best practices to help drive deeper engagement?
Yeah, it's a great question. And the reality is it could be an array. This question when we're talking to clients or prospects or going through QBRs and stuff like that. This is the most common question. How do we do it? How do we drive more engagement? How do we get first party data, zero party data? So it should have a strong impact for an array of folks. The idea is how do we I go back to this as a really great tool in your toolbox or set of tools where then how do we then leverage this? Maybe we try to get zero party data to drive personalization. We want to drive more of an experience with our consumer and have reasons to engage outside of just transaction. And how do we do that in a way that even we can use this data to influence future personalization within the loyalty program outside of what CataBoom's doing, but we're getting the data? Or
Yep.
we could actually use the data that we're gathering based on consumers' clicks and engagement to further enhance that current experience. So there's new tools that we have that we can talk about, some new product evolutions that allow for kind of in the flow personalization.
Okay. And what are some of the strategies from the session that attendees will be able to glean that they can use regarding gamification and data sharing?
Yeah. Well, the strategies are going to be very pronounced. So how do we capture data? What are the methods? What are the games? What are the tools, right? I will even talk about what are the top games in order to capture different first party and zero party data sets. Why? The ability to do stuff now, right? So it's like, I want to get all this data. I want to affect 2027. No, like that, we know that doesn't work, right? So how do we affect the immediate term? Somebody has a CDP or a CRM and you want to use that to drive, or you want to have this bidirectional passing of data so we can impact the current endeavor or the next endeavor, not even let alone 6 months down the line. So I think those are the biggest things is like, how do we impact your business today and the ability to use a tool set to do things, fast in the market. Like those are going to be some of the things that we really hit on hard.
Okay. Well, Aaron, looking forward to the session as always. It's a pleasure to speak with you. You all have new tricks and new best practices every time we speak. And as we mentioned, gamification is very germane and relevant right now to those who have customer loyalty programs. So it should be a very exciting session on the 19th.
Absolutely look forward to it. It's going to be a blast.
Absolutely. And brand members of Loyalty360, you will receive an invitation to attend. And if you have any questions before, please feel free to send them to myself or to Carly, and we'll get back to you. Until then, have a wonderful day and look forward to seeing you on the 19th.